Alrighty guys, real quick, I'm in the middle of diagnosis. Actually, it's not a diagnosis, guys. This car is banging in and out of gear. Now here's the thing, guys, this guy came in asking for a transmission service. There's only problem with that, this is a Jeep Cherokee 2017. It doesn't have a transmission pan. There's nothing to service. It's a ZF 940 ATE transmission. Y'all see that fluid right there? I got 6 quarts of trans fluid. The only thing you can do to this thing is to drain and refill. Now here's the problem here, guys. This guy think he got a transmission problem, right? Now y'all just heard me when I brought this car in. I'm putting it in the gear. Bam, bam, bam. Motor mounts, guys. This car, what, 133,000 miles? Y'all can't see that, it's not focusing. Anyway, yes, it's banging in and out of gear, and the customer actually think a transmission service will fix this. I keep telling y'all, a service will not repair a problem. So I have to go on with the transmission service because that's my job, but I'm going to explain to them that's not going to fix this problem. Okay, you need more work to get done. Real quick, I got the cover down, guys. That's the cover that holds up or the guards this transmission. 940 ATE, guys. What I'm getting ready to do, y'all see this fluid? I'm getting ready to do a transmission no, not a service. I'm basically getting ready to do a drain and refill, guys. I have this machine right here. I'm going to use to transfer. Well, I'm going to drain the old fluid out and use this machine to suck the new fluid in. Guys, we cannot do a service on this simply because you can't gain access to the filter. The filter is on top of the pump. Okay, this is a shorts video. So what I'm going to do, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this on a long video. Here's the drain plug right here. The fill plug is up there. So I'm going to go through all that on a long video. So right down in the bottom, there's going to be a link inside this video. It's going to be a link that will lead you to the full video showing you how I will simply be draining and refilling this transmission. Okay, again, you cannot do a service. We're going to talk about why you can't do a service as well. All right, so y'all stay tuned for the long video. It's going to be linked in the bottom. Stay tuned. Alrighty, guys, here we are. Okay, we're getting ready to do a simple drain and refill on this Jeep Cherokee with a front wheel drive 948 TE transmission, guys. Like I said on that shorts video, that is the only option you have at trying to prolong the life of this. Yeah, I know I'm a big advocate for servicing your transmission. However, you cannot service this, and I'm gonna go over real quick why you can't service it. Okay, I took one of these apart, put it on the table to show y'all where the filter is. Now, depending on your definition of a service, if your definition is replacing the filter and the fluid, remember the filter accumulates the trash that's normally accumulated by a typical transmission, guys. When you start your car, your transmission breaking down as it's running. Okay, inside your torque converter is what we call clutches. Inside your transmission, what we call clutches. That stuff over time simply breaks down. That's normal. You cannot eliminate that. Now, however, the important thing about that debris that is accumulated from those wearing out clutch packs is it has to be stored somewhere. It has to be captured. Now, that is the job of the transmission filter, okay? However, like I said earlier, it is hard to gain access to the filter on this vehicle. Now, here's clips of me taking this transmission out, setting it on the table, guys. The reason I got to set it on the table is because I got to split it. The reason I have to split it is because they're hiding the transmission filter on top of the transmission pump. So the only way to get to it is you have to disassemble the transmission. Yeah, you cannot sell that as a service. That would cost too much, okay? Could you imagine approaching a customer, explaining to them, in order to do your transmission service, we have to take your transmission out? Yeah, so to counter that, guys, the only option we have is to simply do a drain and refill. The only option we have as far as trying to prolong the life of it, we got to do a drain and refill. Now, here's a drain plug right here, guys. The fill plug is up top. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, here's my thinking. I'm gonna open this plug. Before you open this and drain the fluid out, do yourself a favor. Make sure the fill plug will open. Okay, this is little Allen heads, and sometimes they strip and you can't get them off. Oh my goodness, you talk about for a long day, having a long day, if you drain all this out and you can't get that out, how you gonna get trans fluid in? All right, so the important thing here is to make sure that will come off. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. That's exactly what I'm doing. Now I have a bucket right here. That is simply because I'm gonna drain it into the bucket, not my drain pan. All right, the thinking behind that is I want to measure what come out. Typically when I do these, I get this was 1 gallon jug, I get a full 1 gallon worth of fluid, so I know to go back in, that's it, with a gallon, at least a gallon of fluid. Okay, now before you think like that, before you Before that becomes your intentions, you need to look around this transmission. Look around real good. Verify that there's no signs of any potential transmission leak. Okay, the reason I say that is because you can use that way of thinking to justify likely the transmission is still full from the factory. Guy, this car has 140,000 miles maybe. Yeah, so there's no signs of any leaks whatsoever. So I'm going to assume. Now, it's just not me. This is not my idea. Okay, I've heard training instructors explain it like that. Okay, you can assume the transmission is full if there's no signs of leak. So knowing that, so whatever I drain out, the goal is to go back in with the exact same amount. Okay, yeah. Now if you had no way of measuring what come out, in other words, you just open this up and let it all out here, you will have to go through a rigorous process in determining if the transmission full. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, you probably should do that anyway. It's just I'm in a shop and I'm under time constraints. So let me find me some tools. I'm gonna drain this in here. This jug is empty right now. If I end in this jug full, that means that means I need to go in with a gallon. All right, now let me go over the machine I'm gonna use. It's nothing more than a fluid transfer machine. All right, so thinking goes, I'm gonna set each jug in here, suck the fluid out of here. The fluid is gonna go through to here into the field port of the transmission. All right, so nothing technical or fancy about it. In fact, I gotta find a cord to plug it up. Guys, I got work to do. Let's get started, man. Alrighty guys, just as I suspected, that is about a gallon, so I'm looking to need about four and a half, maybe 5 quarts of these, guys. Alright, let me set up my machines. Let's get this installed. Let's get it. Alrighty guys, y'all can see my setup here. Now I got the hose going all the way up here. Y'all can see that? Yeah, it's going inside the transmission. So when I go to my machine, just a fluid transfer machine. I got my fluid right here, this hose in here. When I click on, the machine is going to suck fluid out of here and travel it up through the hoses into the transmission. Let's get it. You can see it. Alrighty guys, that was my last quart. Okay, as far as the amount go, remember I want to go in with a gallon. Okay, so I got 4 quarts and a half. Actually, I put a half a quart in there as well, and it's not technically spitting out. That does not mean it's not full, guys. So here's the for sure way to tell. Y'all see this tube? Yes, I'm about to run this car in gear for a while and let it reach operating temperature. And I'm gonna stick my tube. This is the dipstick for this transmission. Stick my dipstick tube down in there. Once I reach operating temperature, that's clarified in the book. Okay, then you got to find out what the temperature is. Then you measure that with this reading, and that will put you right on the money where you should be. The goal is to get this thing to proper fill level. Okay, when you're servicing it or draining, refill, or whatever you're doing, you want the fluid at the correct level. Okay, I'm out of time, guys. I'm gonna have to wrap this video, but this is my special tool I use. This is a dipstick, basically a dipstick, but don't use this unless the transmission is at operating temperature. All right, I gotta go.